Guys, this video is about the comparison between GTA 1650 Super versus GTX 1660 Super. So, we are going to test 15 games on both of these graphic cards in 1080p ultra settings or high settings. So, the first game is Witcher 3. As you can see on the screen, we are averaging about 62-61 FPS in GTX 1650 Super, while we are getting around 75, 78, 79 FPS in GTX 1660 Super as well. So there is always a difference between 15 to 20 FPS in both of these graphic cards, which you can see in this game as well, and you will see in other games as well. So here you can see we are getting around 80 FPS in 1660 Super. So the next game is Kingdom Come, 1080p ultra settings. So here you can see GTX 1650 Super give us 50 FPS, 45 FPS, while GTX 1660 Super give us 60 FPS, 55 FPS. So almost again a difference of 15 to 20 FPS difference, or even 10 FPS difference as well in some parts of the game. The graphics of this game looks very promising, and the stuff you can see looks very amazing. Look at the details on the tracks, and yeah, this is the game Kingdom Come. So we will cover most of the new titles as well in this video as well. So 55, 66, 73 FPS. So the next game is Division 2, 1080p ultra settings. Look at the water first of all, and the FPS which we are getting in GTX 1650 Super is 55, 50 FPS even, and GTA 16 Super give us 75, 70 FPS, almost again 20 FPS, 25 FPS difference. So I will just recommend you to buy the 1660 Super if you have like $30-40 more. So yeah, but if you are on a very tight budget, then you can go with 1650 Super as well. But the 1660 Super is the go-to choice because it is giving you above 60 FPS, even though 70-75 FPS as well in this game. And look at the graphics, look at the grass as well, and the other stuff as well in the game. It looks promising. So this was a Division 2. The next game is, you can see on the screen, it's Borderlands 3 in 1080p, not high settings, it's ultra settings. On 1650 Super, we are getting around 40 FPS, 41, 43, 45, 46 FPS even though. And GTX 1660 Super gives us 55 FPS, 49, 48 as well. But yeah, it is always fluctuating with scenes and scenery around in the gameplay. So again 10 FPS difference between both of these graphic cards. So yeah, in competitive games 10 FPS is a thing, but in Borderlands 3 if you have more budget, you can go with 1660 Super. So yeah, that should be your go-to choice if you are looking for a good graphic card. So the next game is Far Cry New Dawn 1080p ultra settings. Here you can see GTX 1650 Super gives us 80-81 FPS, while GTX 1660 Super give us 110 to 100 FPS, which is almost like 30 or 25 FPS more than 1650 Super. So yeah, here I will say the go-to choice will be GTX 1660 Super, obviously because it's the latest model in comparison to 1650 Super. Definitely it would be better. But you can see the graphics and the other stuff, the textures around in the gameplay, and the FPS which we are getting about 100 FPS. That is a lot. In just $30-40 more than you are getting like 100 FPS. I will definitely recommend it. The next game is Assassin's Creed Origins, and you can see we are testing on 1080p ultra settings, and here you can see GTX 1650 Super give us like 54 FPS, and while GTX 1660 Super gives us 70 FPS, 65 FPS as well. So 10 to 15 FPS difference between both of these graphic cards in this game. And here you can see 1660 Super looks a little bit bright as well, and more detailing in comparison with 1650 Super. And here you can see 1% lows, 0.1% lows, and you can see average FPS as well, and you can see what FPS we are actually getting in this game. So yeah, this was the stuff which I want to tell you about Assassin's Creed Origins. So the next game is ODYSSEY, I mean to say Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and 1080p ultra settings. You can see we are averaging about in GTX 1650 it's 35, 36, 38 as well, but in 1660 Super 47, 49, 45, again 10 to 15 FPS difference between in this game. So yeah, but if you want to enjoy this game on 60 FPS, I would recommend you to go towards like 1080p high settings. in GTA 16 Super, and it will give you above 60 FPS easily in this game, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. If you are a fanboy of Assassin's Creed series, then you should play this game with 60 FPS and 1080p high settings, not Ultra, because Ultra is not giving you like 60 FPS. It will get 60, but will fluctuate between 50 and 60. So the next game is Red Dead Redemption, and you can see we are testing out in 1080p high settings because it is very high graphics demanding game. So in 1650 Super, you can see it's 52 FPS, while GTA 1660 Super gave us 75 FPS. Now you can see the FPS are dropping because I am running between a market and it is costing me some FPS. But don't worry, it will rise up as we have stable the frame rates. And if we are in a stable position, so you can see around 20 FPS, 15 FPS difference again in both of these graphic cards. So if you are going to play Red Dead Redemption 2, I would recommend you to buy 1660 Super. So the next game is Rainbow Six Siege. Here you will see a lot of difference. GTA 1650 Super gives 112 FPS, while GTA 1660 gives 125, 130 FPS. Depending on the conditions. But if you want to play multiplayer games on 120 FPS, then GTA 1660 Super is the go-to thing, because getting like 30 more FPS in a game, in multiplayer game or competitive game, is the go-to thing. I will recommend you to go with 1660 Super. I'm not gonna say this line again and again because it makes the video a little bit boring. But if you find this video helpful, then make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new to the channel, and I always do these kind of benchmarks on the channel, and you can see my gaming benchmark playlist on the channel as well. So the next game is Ghost Recon, and the 1080p ultra settings 38 39 FPS, while it is giving us 48 50 FPS in 1660 Super as well. So again, I want to say that again a difference of 10 or 15 12 FPS difference between both of these games in these cards. So a lot of big difference you can see in this. So I will definitely recommend you to buy GTA 1660 Super. Again, we are getting around 15 FPS more in this game. And look at the graphics, textures and other stuff here, because it looks very promising and this game looks amazing. Again, I would suggest you to like this video and share this video with your friends and family members. So this was the Ghost Recon. So the next game is Ghost Recon B. This time, I hope so you get the point. 1080p ultra settings, you are getting about 48 49 FPS, and GTA 1660 give us 65 FPS. Again, 20 FPS, 15 to 20 FPS difference between both of these games and in these graphic cards as well. So again, you will consider buying 1660 Super for just 40 or 30 more dollars comparing to your price in your region as well. So yeah, 1660 Super gives us above 60 FPS in some cases, and in sometimes in ultra settings. I'm not talking about high settings, I'm talking about ultra settings. Okay, so this was the Ghost Recon 1080p ultra settings. So the next game is World War Z. Oh my god, this game is very high graphics demanding as well. So you can see in 1650 Super 1080p ultra settings 81 FPS and 99 101 FPS and 96 now 99 again, 111 116 118 around, oh you can say 20-25 FPS difference between both of this graphic card in World War Z. If you want to play World War Z, then yeah, again the same answer. You should pay like 30 to 40 dollars for getting like 25-30 FPS depending on different games. So yeah, 1% lows, you can see 1% lows of both of these graphic cards. You can see the GPU usage, and yeah, this was a World War Z. The next game is World of Tanks. So in this you can see 1650 Super gives us 96-97 FPS, while 1660 gives us 132 140 150 FPS even though as well, almost 40 FPS 30 FPS difference between both of these graphic cards. So you can see detailing and look at the details on the tank and other stuff. This game is very good if you want to play like war games. Then this game is also a great game to play. So yeah, you can see the FPS you are getting very decent and more than 120 FPS, even more than 150 FPS in 1660 Super. So yeah, both can be your choice in playing this game, because both of these games give you like, one gives you 120 FPS, one gives you 150 FPS. So the next game is PUBG. It's not PUBG Mobile, it's PUBG PC, and you can see it is giving me 142, 143 FPS, 176 FPS, almost again 30 to 40 FPS more. So again, if you want to play competitive games or if you want to play like multiplayer games, then GTA 1660 gives you a little built edge on these games because it gives you like 30 to 35 FPS more in comparison with GTA 1650 Super. But if your opponent also have 1650 Super, then you can buy GTA 1650 Super as well. But if your opponent have GTA 16 Super and you have 1650 Super, then it will cost you little bit in the game as well. So this was the PUBG, and the next game is FORTNITE in 1080p epic settings. So here you can see 89 FPS, 115 FPS, again 15 to 20 FPS difference between both of these games. And here you can see the graphics look promising in both of the games, and look at the graphics, look at the textures and other stuff in the game as well. So this was the video. I hope so you enjoyed. If you find this video helpful, and make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, press the bell icon. I'll see you next time. Bye guys. Peace out.